All right, so as I said, you can get started in a comfortable seated posture. A couple more coming in. All right, so whatever feels good for you. You can sit just like a regular cross-legged or just having the legs, so that what you can do is like start to completely release the hips and try to let the knees relax down towards the mat. And if you look like this, don't worry, it's okay. Just over time, letting the hips release a bit. Just take a moment to roll the shoulders up and back to release that computer workday tension and bring them in the opposite direction. Just take the head side to side, maybe roll the neck from side to side, roll the head side to side, and up and back. And then you want to just start to ground in your sits bones and feel your spine get really nice and long and straight. And then even you'll feel like you've got like a string attached to the top of your head. All right, so you're sitting really nice and tall and feeling really light. So find that space where you can sit nice and tall, really light, crown of the head reaching towards the sky. And then you can choose if you want your hands facing down on your knees, facing up, or if you have short arms like me, sometimes it just feels good to rest the hands in the lap. But you want to make sure the shoulders are away from the ears. And from here, you can gently close the eyes and just start to check in with the breath. Usually this is a time where I notice maybe how shallow I've been breathing all day. I might notice that, okay, I thought I was sitting nice and tall, but my chin's starting to lift and I want to elongate the back of my spine and the neck, so I'm going to tuck my chin a bit. I'm holding some tension in the back of my shoulders, or I'm holding tension in my hips, and just kind of noticing these things without judgment. And then gently begin to deepen your breath, taking nice deep inhales and exhales. Taking a few more of those here, just calming the mind. This is where we start to wipe away the to-do list or the should-have-done list and just try to be present here for the next hour. Just breathing and moving, maybe a little sweat. And as you sit here, take a moment to set an intention for your yoga practice today. It might be to stay with the breath. It might be to try something new. It might be to dedicate your practice to someone who might need some positive energy. But taking a moment to make this more than just some exercise and make it a mindful practice as well. Take about 3 more deep breaths here. Really expand the lungs and exhale all that air out before taking the next breath. On the next inhale, you're going to sweep the arms up overhead, press the palms together, and exhale the hands to heart center. Gently flicker the eyes open. We'll take the left leg now over the right leg. So you're going to work on stacking your knees and your feet will come out to the side. It's up to you. The closer you get your feet to the body, the greater stretch you'll get in that left hip. But if you need to have the legs out a little bit further, that's okay too. Once we're there, we're going to clasp our hands back behind us. So we're reaching back to find our hands, interlacing the fingers. Inhale, stretch yourself up, feel the shoulder blades squeeze together. And then as you exhale, fold on top of that top thigh. And then lift the fist up as high as you can to the sky, squeezing the palms together, squeezing the shoulder blades together. One more deep inhale here. And as you exhale, bring yourself back up. Release the hands, and you're gonna reach that right arm up to the sky, and that left hand is gonna come back behind you, and you're gonna try to see if the fingertips can touch. So it looks like so. Right arm reaches up, left hand reaches back. Maybe they barely touch. Maybe you can kind of grip there. And then as you inhale, you're just gonna sit a little bit taller. Exhale, take that bow one more time. So we're opening up the shoulders, opening up the back body. Inhale, bring yourself back up and release the hands and switch to crossing the legs. So the right leg's gonna come on top, left's on bottom. We're stacking the knees and trying to bring those ankles and feet close to our side body if we can. Interlace the hands back behind you, but put the opposite thumb on top, so it's gonna feel a little awkward. Inhale, squeeze the shoulder blades together, press the palms together. And then as you exhale, try to keep those palms together as you come and bow over that front leg. And then as much as you can, lift that fist up towards the sky. Keep breathing here. As you exhale, slowly wind down, release the hands. So this time, left arm is gonna reach up to the sky and tuck back like you're patting yourself on the back. Right arm is gonna reach back and around. It's okay if they don't touch, and one side will definitely feel different from the other. Once you get both hands there, you're gonna inhale, sit nice and tall. As you exhale, bow down one more time. Know this might feel completely different on that side, and that's okay. Next inhale, slowly bring yourself up. Release the hands, shake out the arms, shake out the hands, uncross the legs, and just come into a little windshield wiper motion to release the hips. Just swaying the knees side to side here. All right, from here, we're gonna rock over onto the hands and knees, coming into our cat-cow posture, or tabletop posture with cat-cow. So you're gonna push into the tops of the feet so much right now that the knees lift off the ground. Push into the hands, and then let the knees come back down, but keep that activation in the lower body. Grip even into the fingertips. As you inhale, drop the belly, gaze up. As you exhale, cat, push the spine up to the ceiling, tuck the chin. 2 more times. Inhale. Keep a little micro bend in the elbows rather than hyperextending the joint. Exhale, keep pushing into the tops of the feet. Inhale. Last one, exhale. Push the spine up as high as you can, tuck the chin, and returning back to neutral. We're gonna go into one more shoulder stretch. So walk the hands and keep the hips above the knees here, coming into puppy pose. So you can think of how those puppies lean down and they wag their tail here. Bring the chest as close to the mat as you can. Bring the armpits as close to the mat. And then you can drop the forehead down on the ground. So really thinking about trying to get the chest to touch the mat. Should feel a nice stretch across the top of the shoulder blades. On your next inhale, you're just gonna walk yourself back up. Inhale, that right arm up to the sky, coming into a little twist here. Exhale, thread the needle down, dropping the right shoulder onto the ground. So my head and ear are completely resting on the ground. Then I'm gonna walk my left hand forward and stretch that left hand there. Now this is option 1. Option 2, bring that left hand back and kick out that left foot to the side. All right, it's coming straight out of the hip, and I'm pushing into that left edge of my foot. Then you can walk that hand back out. Third and final challenge pose here today is to try to lift that foot up. So I'm balancing on my shoulder, my ear, my left hand, creating just a little something fun to play with. And bringing that foot back down if it's lifted, bringing that left hand in, and then push yourself up as you inhale. Come into that twist, bringing both hands and knees back in. Just take one cat-cow to neutralize. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, now the left hand comes up. Bring it on down to that left shoulder, left ear, left head, all relaxed. All right, that right hand can walk forward. You can stay right here, or you might kick that right foot out, straight out of the hip. You might walk that hand back forward. And that little fun game, you might lift that foot up to balance. All right, something to play with. You might roll onto your back. You'll be okay. Just a little game to play. Bring that foot back down if it's lifted. Right hand comes back in, so you can inhale. Left hand up to the sky, twisting. Exhale. Both hands back in. A couple cat-cows just to release. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. All right. From here, we're going to come all the way down onto the belly. So bring yourself all the way down. We're not going to be here for too long. Don't get too comfortable. And you're going to flip your palms so that the palms are pushing on to the ground. All right. And from here, we're going to take what's called half lotus. So we're just lifting right leg up into the sky. Now this is a lot of glute and backwards. So think about really pushing your lower belly into the mat to protect the lower back. Lower that right leg down. Inhale, left leg up. Slowly lower that down. Just take it down one more side. Push firmly into the hands as you lift that right leg. Point the toes. Gaze is straight ahead. Lower it down last time here. Left leg up. All right. And lower that back down. Now I'm going to give one more play option here. I'm going to just lift my hips off the ground and slide my hands just on to the tops of my thighs. All right, so my hands are facing up. Put it right under my thighs, and then I can play with trying to lift both legs. This is our full lotus pose. Gazing up, and we might even get to lift the chest up a bit. Coming there, exhale. Lower it all down. Push into the hands. Let's take the counter pose into child's pose. So child's pose, our knees can be right under the body, or we can bring the knees out and take a wide leg child's pose, wide knee child's pose to give more space for the body to come down onto the ground there. Your choice. One more deep breath in child's pose. And then we'll come into our first down dog. So tuck the toes, push the hips up and back. Take your time to pedal out the feet, wag the tail, do anything that feels good. Really think about the heels sinking down towards the mat, even if they never touch. And then the hips lifting up towards the sky. So they're going in opposite directions so that the hamstrings and calves get really long. You can bend the knees as much as you need to, trying to get that nice straight line from the crease of the wrist to the tailbone. And over time, you might be able to straighten those legs a little bit more. All right, we're gonna inhale to bring ourselves to plank. So we just roll through the spine and bring us forward. As you exhale, push the hips up and back, downward dog. 2 more times. Inhale, roll through the spine. Exhale, push the hips back. Last one, inhale. Exhale. All right, inhale to the tiptoes. Exhale, bring yourself to the front of the mat. You can walk, step, or hop. Inhale, half lift, nice 90-degree angle with the body. Exhale, tuck it down. Inhale, bring the hands all the way up to the top, press the palms together. Exhale, hands to heart center. You're at the front of your mat. Here we go for our Surya Namaskara, or our sun salutations. Inhale, the arms up. Exhale, hinge down. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step walk or float it back to plank. Exhale, you can keep the knees lifted or lower down. Keep the elbows tucked in tight as you lower all the way down, reverse push-up. Inhale, bring yourself up, baby cobra. Exhale, push into the hands, bring yourself back, downward facing dog. Once we get to that downward facing dog, we take 3 deep breaths. Working on breath in that stillness, strength in our down dog, balancing the weight between our feet and our hands as evenly as possible, keeping that micro bend in the hands. Inhale to the tiptoes, exhale to the front of the mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, deep fold. Inhale, bring the arms all the way up. Press the palms together. Exhale, active hands pushing in. Coming down. Round 3. Inhale, the hands up. Exhale, hinge down. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step walker, float it back to plank. Exhale, maybe keep the knees lifted, lower all the way down. Inhale, bring it up. Exhale, push it back. Downward facing dog, 3 deep breaths. This is round 2, not round 3. Balancing between the hands and the feet. 1 more deep breath. Inhale to the toes. Exhale, bring it to the front of the mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, deep fold. Tuck the chin. Inhale, bring it all the way up. Exhale, push into the hands, active arms. Bring it all the way down. All right, we're going to come into one final sun salutation here together. Inhale the arms up. This time we're going to come all the way up to the tiptoes. A little balance challenge. Ooh. Exhale, bring it all the way down. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step walker, float it back to plank. Maybe doing our chaturanga, or our 90-degree push-up. So we come about till our arms make that 90-degree angle. Untuck the toes, inhale. This is upward facing dog. So I'm pushing into the hands, micro bend in my elbows. Hips are off the mat, knees are off the mat. Exhale, tuck the tailbone, push yourself back. Downward facing dog. 3 deep breaths here. When we come into these moments of stillness, this is a great time to reconnect with that intention, with the breath. Inhale to the tiptoes. Exhale, step walker, float it forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, deep fold. Inhale, sweep the arms all the way up to the top. As you exhale, push into the hands. Pause for a moment. Bring the feet together. Zip the legs together. Thumb to sternum. Roll those shoulder blades back. Stand nice and tall. Close the eyes. Feel the heartbeat. Feel the breath flow. Just a little check-in to see how centered we're feeling today, or if we're feeling a little off balance. Inhale, bring the arms back up. Gaze up to the fingertips, come to the tiptoes. Extra balance challenge, looking up and tiptoes. Exhale, bring it all the way down. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step walker, float it back. You can choose to skip the vinyasa by just going to downward facing dog, or we'll flow through either with chaturanga, an upward facing dog, or just lowering down and coming into cobra. Once we hit that downward facing dog, we're gonna inhale that right leg up to the sky. So we're in 3-legged dog. So we really sink that left heel down as much as we can. And then as we exhale, we're gonna bring the knee towards the nose as we move forward and step that right foot in between the hands. So we're in a low runner's lunge. You can keep that back knee off the mat, or if you want to, you can lower it down and untuck the toes. Either way, we're gonna inhale, sink the hips, and reach the heart forward. And as we exhale, we're gonna push the hips up and back, bowing over that front leg. Move with your own breath. Inhale to bring it forward. Exhale to bow down and push it back. Either knee up or knee down. You're gonna get that same opening in the hips either way. All right, we're gonna meet in that front lunge. All right, so once again, knee can be up or down for this. We're gonna come into lizard pose. So we bring both hands to the inside of our right leg. Make sure you're not hyperextending and locking your elbows, but have a little micro bend there. Now from here, if it's available, you can come down onto the left forearm. All right, if it's available, you can come down onto the right forearm. Left is probably going to be a little easier than right, so maybe just one. And then really hug that knee into the side body. If you're up here today, that's great. If you need the knee down, that's great. Do whatever works best for you to continue to opening that left hip, okay? Full expression of the pose, both forearms on the ground, hugging that right knee in rather than just letting it splay out. All right, one more deep breath here. We're gonna come back up to the hands if we're down. All right, we're gonna untuck the toes and bring that knee up and push the hips back. Now we're in a wide-legged, we're gonna come to the side of our mat. All right, so wide-legged means our feet are almost the same distance as our mat potentially, but in a safe space. And then the toes are gonna point in, heels are gonna come out a little bit. Inhale, half lift, get a really nice flat back. And as you exhale, let yourself lower down towards the mat, head towards the mat. So you might want a little extra challenge. You can grab opposite ankle, which can play with the balance. You can also flip the palms and reach the hands through and push the palms down to help bring the head closer to the mat. You might just keep the hands right in front of the face. And with each exhale, try to lower just a tiny hair more. Next inhale, we'll all come to that flat back. Exhale, you're gonna bring yourself over the left foot towards the back of your mat. So now you're not facing the screen likely, but we just did the same thing. So we're gonna do the same thing, different side. So inhale, sink the hips down, reach the chest forward. As you exhale, push the hips back, straighten both legs, bend over that front leg. Inhale forward, exhale back. Move with your own breath, but work on making nice, slow, deep breaths. So we don't want to just be hopping back and forth between the two, but really moving with intention, moving with the breath. All right, we'll all meet in that front forward. I know I'm like twisting all over my circle mat today. Now you're gonna bring both hands inside the left leg, okay? Option to drop the knee. It might already be dropped. Option to then drop the right elbow, all right? Last but not least, maybe you can drop that left down to the left forearm. Maybe you can stay off the knee. So full lizard, off the knee, pushing into the forearms, head looking down to lengthen the back of the neck. You all look like lizards. Hug that left knee in towards the left shoulder. One more deep breath. Slowly bring the hands back up. Push the leg back. We're coming once again into that wide-legged. So twist to the side of your mat. Toes pigeon-toed in. Inhale, nice flat back. Exhale, lower it down. Choose your arm variation of choice. Maybe you want to keep opening the shoulders. You can interlace the fingers. Maybe you want a ragdoll, grab opposite ankles, and maybe take a twist. So many options. All right, bring the hands back down in front of the face if they're not there already. Inhale, nice and long. Exhale, we're coming back to the front of the mat. We're over that right leg at the front of the mat. Step the left foot back. You can push back to downward facing dog, or you can take our flow. Your chaturanga, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Let's take a deep breath there. All right. We're going to come into a brief side plank series. So we're going to first bring ourselves forward into plank, and then you're going to drop the left knee, turning onto opening up the right shoulder to stack on top of left. So my left knee is down, my right toes are pointing out, and then I inhale that hand up. So my shoulders are stacked, right? My chest is open. This bottom left elbow has a little micro bend. I'm pushing into my hand really strongly all the way to the fingertips. All right, deep inhale here. Exhale, bring that right hand down. Drop the right knee, same thing, other side. Kick that left leg back. Inhale, left hand up, stacking the shoulders. All right, so this is our level 1 side plank. We're gonna go through 2 more rounds. You can keep doing this level 1 if it's giving you enough challenge in the core and balance. All right, let's bring that left hand back down, come into full plank, and now we're coming onto our side, but my left knee isn't down. Instead, my right leg, my front top leg, is gonna bend and my right foot is gonna press. So this is level 2. You still got a little extra support. All right, I'm on the left edge of my foot. So you can see, stacking the shoulders. That front leg is in front wherever you need it. Bring it back down to regular plank. All right, coming onto the right side. That left foot's gonna step forward, and I'm not letting these hips sink down. I'm pushing them up. All right. Coming back to plank. This is our 3rd and final round, guys. You got this. You can stack the feet on top or front to back, full expression, or take either one we've already done. Maybe gaze up to that right thumb. All right, bring it to regular plank. Other side, last side. Keep pushing into those fingertips. Deep inhale. Exhale. Drop the knees, take it back. Child's pose. Woo. You can bring the hands back along the side body and roll the wrists. Normal for wrists to feel sore, but if we, sometimes when we do plank, 2 things that can cause wrist pain. One is we don't just push, we just push into the palm, the heel of our palm, right? Rather than spreading the weight through the whole hand. The other thing is if we lock you can even feel it when you lock your elbows, you can feel that you use the heel of your palm way more. So 2 things to think about if maybe it was too hard to get through that, right? All right, let's get back to our flow. Coming into downward facing dog. Don't worry, no more planks. Inhale that right leg up to the sky. Exhale, come to step it in between the hands. This time we're going for high plank. So you're gonna bring the body up rather than staying low. We're actually gonna come into warrior 1. So you're gonna drop that back heel and work on getting this knee over ankle, all right? Think about getting the hips forward. You might have to shorten your stance because if we're real wide, that left hip's gonna wanna turn back, but you wanna push them both forward, all right? And then grow up out of the hips, get nice and long. Inhale the arms up to our full expression, warrior 1. If you've got any pain in the neck or shoulders, you can push into the palms right here. All right, we're gonna do some fancy arm work. So bring our arms straight out. You want to maintain the lower body here. Maintain that knee over ankle. Maintain the hip points facing forward. Bringing the arms straight out. The left arm is going to go under the right. We're coming into eagle arms, all right? So we do left under right, and then we push the palms together. If this is too complicated, you can just push the forearms and the palms together, all right? Otherwise, left is under right here, and then we're pressing the palms in that last little bit. And then we want to lift the elbows so that our triceps are parallel to the ground. I know that lunge is getting intense. You guys got this, okay? So we're going to flow just a little bit with the back bend here. We're going to inhale, engage the core as you lift the hands up. Gaze follows the hands. Exhale, bring yourself down to the inside of that right leg. Inhale, bring yourself up. My lower body is locked in. Back leg is super strong. Exhale down. Inhale, bring it up. Back to center. Release the hands. Feel good to release that out. Inhale, the arms up. Exhale, hands come down. Step it back. You can flow here or push back, downward facing dog. And then we'll take it to the other side. So we're continuing to open the shoulders, but we're adding in a little bit of leg strength here. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale, come to step it through. Drop that back heel. Bring yourself up. You might need to shorten that stance to get both hips to point forward. And we tend to start not bending in that front knee. You want to keep that front of your right thigh opening, okay? Once we're here, let's lift the hands up just to get into that full expression of our warrior one, our hands to heart center. Think about engaging the core, a little tuck of the tailbone, all right? And then bringing the arms out this time, right under left. Maybe the palms can come to link, all right? And you see the triceps, the bottom of your arm is very parallel to the ground, all right? Making sure we're staying in that low lunge with our legs. We're gonna inhale, lift the hands up, the gaze follows. Exhale, bow all the way down, inside. Inhale, bring it all the way up. So your sheer focal point is really important here. We're using balance, we're using strength, we're using flexibility. Last one here. Exhale down. As we come up, we'll be able to unwind and release. It should feel really good. Release it up. Exhale, hands come down, step it back. You can flow or push back downward facing dog. Once we're there, we're going to walk the hands back to the feet. So we're in a forward fold at the back of our mat. Heel toe the feet so they're the width of your mat. Grab opposite elbow. Let the head hang. This one's ragdoll. So we just sway side to side. Let gravity do the work. Allow the inversion to bring blood to the brain. Take deep breaths into the back body. All right, slowly release the hands down. Walk yourself back into our downward facing dog. We're gonna add on to what we've done thus far. Okay, so we're in down dog. Inhale that right leg up to the sky, three-legged dog. As you exhale, come to step it through. Same thing, just adding on. Drop the back heel. Inhale, arms up overhead, warrior one. Virabhadrasana one. Sink that knee over the ankle as much as you can. Think about opening up that front hip flexor. Growing out of the hips rather than just kind of sinking and bending our backs. We're growing up nice and tall. Bring those arms down. Left arm underneath right, clasping the hands. Okay, we're just gonna take 2 rounds here. So inhale, gazing up. Exhale, coming all the way down. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. Inhale, bringing yourself up. We're going to transition ourselves to warrior three. You can choose if you want to keep the hands like so, or if you want to release them into any arm variation of your choice. So we're going to start to bend forward like we did before, but we're going to push off that back leg to balance. Now, if the arms, this doesn't feel safe, just unwind, come to airplane arms, hands at heart center, arms straight forward. Otherwise, keep that left under right. One more deep breath. Slowly returning back, drop the heel. Inhale, bring it all the way up. Exhale, release the arms. Bring yourself down, step it back, flow or not to flow. Once you get to that down dog, let's inhale through the nose. Exhale, side out. We got another side. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale, come step it in between the hands. Drop that back heel. Inhale, warrior one. Grow yourself nice and tall out of the hips. Back leg is fired up and strong and straight. Bending that knee over ankle in front. This time, right arm under left. Remember, you can always just push the palms together. Still great upper body. Push into the hands. Inhale, gazing up. Exhale, dive down. Inhale, bring it all the way up. Exhale, diving down. This time we're gonna inhale it up. Prepare warrior three. Exhale. Maybe keep the hands together, maybe not, but getting that back leg fired up, toes pointed down. Flex that foot back behind you, like it's kicking into the wall. Take your arm variation of choice. One more deep breath. Slowly, with control, return that foot back down. Inhale it up, release the arms. Exhale, hands down, step it back, flow or not to flow. Squeeze those shoulder blades together. And then let's drop the knees down, coming into child's pose. Either arms back behind or reaching out in front of you. Take a few deep breaths here. So as you take these couple replenishing breaths, we do have one last round of flow. We'll come into our full eagle pose. So we'll continue our flow with our up and down, warrior three. But with control, as we come out of warrior three, we're gonna come into full eagle, which includes wrapping our leg around the other leg. I will, of course, walk you through it. If you decide right now that what your body needs is a little bit more child's pose, please take that and join us after this last round. If you would like to join us, we'll come back into downward facing dog. Once we're there, we're gonna inhale that right leg up to the sky. Exhale, come to step it in between, prepare for your warrior one. Inhale, arms up overhead, sink the hips nice and low, final round here. Left arm comes under right. Inhale, gaze up. Exhale, dive down. Inhale, bring it up. Exhale, bring it down. Inhale, prepare for warrior three. Exhale, coming into your warrior three of choice. One full deep breath here. So we're preparing the mind. That left leg is gonna cross over the right leg as we come up. So, oh, I did not do a good job. Inhale, come to stand as you bring the left leg over right. Sinking down into the hips. So an eagle, that left leg comes over right. And you can choose if you want to just tap that toe on the ground or if you want to keep it lifted. And then sink the hips down into a tight little ball. You got this. One more deep breath. Next inhale, we're going to splash back up to that warrior one. Step that foot back. Inhale, release the arms up. Exhale, hands down. Step it back, flow or push back. Lifting the hips. All right, we got one more side. Inhale that left leg up. Exhale, come to step it through. Plant that back heel. Inhale, arms up. Right arm under left, eagle arms. Press the palms together, lift the elbows up. Sink it down. All right, inhale, gaze up. Exhale, bring it down. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. Inhale, bring the arms up as you prepare. We're coming into warrior three. Exhale, eagle arm, warrior three. Flex that back foot. One more deep breath. You know where we're going, coming up to stand. Right leg over left. Either tap that toe on the ground or wrap it around. Sink the heels back. You're coming into chair pose. One more deep breath. All right, inhale as you stand up. Bring that right leg back. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands down. Last flow. We're all gonna meet in child's pose. Whew. Drop the knees down, sit the hips back. Come into your child's pose. Take a few deep breaths to reconnect there. Keep on breathing. And we're gonna come into some inversion play. So if you wanna move yourself to the wall, you can. If you need a couple more breaths in child's pose, take that. Your first option is just to bring the bum to the wall and lift the legs up the wall. You can also start to walk the legs up the wall to give yourself more of a shoulder stand. What I'm going to show you we're working on today is, because we've worked the shoulders a lot, is a little bit of a shoulder stand. It's different than the other shoulder stand, what we call this forearm stand. So I'm going to give you 3 options to play with, and I'll model it first, and then I'll give you a few moments to get in. But if you'd like to, you're going to come into a downward facing dog with your heels are at the edge of the wall. All right, and from here, you're going to bring yourself down onto your forearms. So already you might be like, and I'm there. This is it for me today. I'm going to just do a forearm down dog. Option 2 is to bring the feet up the wall and to come into this pike pose. Even if you hold it for a breath, I swear I'll be super proud of you. Even if you throw your legs up the wall, it'll be great. It's a lot of upper body strength. It's a bit of core. You might find it easier to bring the forearms down and then come into that down dog, and you're just gazing back to the wall, which I wasn't doing a good job of because I was looking at you. But that's an option to play with. All right, I'm gonna give you guys about 3 minutes to play with some inversions. You can take whatever inversion's great for you. If you wanna do like handstand at the wall, headstand, legs up the wall. Those are all things to play with for a little bit. And I'll just say the inversion part of our practice is super important. So if this is what you do, that's awesome. If you want to take it from legs up the wall to a little shoulder stand, you just walk the hips up. And then your hips are now higher than your heart, which is great for just increasing the inversion a little bit, even if you just get the hips to here. All right? So take what's great for you. I'm going to take one more round of our shoulder stand, although I can't hold it very long. You know, it's good strength, and it gets your heart really going, so that's how you know it's good. So my head is not on the ground. Just using a couple deep breaths there. After, if you take a headstand, shoulder stand, forearm, it's good to just take a break in your child's pose. Give us one more minute of play in whatever inversion you're doing. We'll eventually be coming back to the mat to finish our cool down. So if you want to move away from the wall, you can. We will eventually come back to sit. All right, so if you have finished your inversion, we're just going to come to take a seated twist for a moment. So we are bringing our left leg over our right. Inhale that right hand up to the sky. Exhale. You can either tuck the elbow or you can just hug onto that knee. And it's up to you how deep you want this twist. So I can take it really deep. I can inhale and lengthen, exhale, twist. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, twist. And then I might get that elbow tucked. And gaze out over that left shoulder. One more deep breath. We're going to slowly release. So we're just play. I'm doing a little bit of play today. If you can't tell, I've been wanting to play. This is an option. You're going to reach forward. So I still have my left leg on top, right? But I just brought myself to the other side. So it's like a counter pose. I'm twisting the other way. I'm going to reach and see if I can grab on to my right foot out here, right? So we'll take this step by step. So option one here, you're just going to reach and hold on there. Option two, you're going to plant this hand right in front of you and get your elbow tucked into the side body. All right. Option three is you might be able to lift that up off and kind of chaturanga arm, a little fun arm balance. I call it Dragonfly. All right. So that's your option. One, just a counter twist. Two, see if you can grab that foot. Three, maybe plant the hand and rock up. All right, we'll take it to the other side. Right leg over left. Inhale that arm, left arm up. Either hug that knee in or try to get that elbow tucked. Plant that back arm behind you, get nice and long on the inhale. Exhale, twist. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. One more deep breath. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale. Twist. All right, and we'll slowly release and unwind. So option one, we're just coming into the counter twist, which should feel great. Option two, I'm going to reach out for that left foot. So you can grab the outside, the inside, and plant that hand. And then maybe come into that dragonfly, lift the hip up and lean forward. All right, not a lot of space between me and the ground. Maybe an inch or two. And slowly release back down. All right, let's roll onto our backs. Coming all the way down onto our backs. We're gonna do our final back bend here together. And then we'll take our Shavasana. So we're gonna start by tucking the tailbone, just a really little motion where my lower back is now connected to the mat. Pushing the hands down here, pushing into the feet. I'm gonna inhale, push my hips up to the sky. and just work my shoulder blades under a little bit. That gives me a little extra height. Look straight up, push the hips up to the sky. Watch that belly fill with air. One more deep breath. As you exhale, the bum's gonna come towards the heels, lengthening the spine. Untuck the shoulders, windshield wiper left and right. All right, so we're gonna do another round with a little level up, but you can always just take that same round. Bringing the heels close to the bum, tuck the tailbone. Inhale, bring the arms up, tuck the shoulders this time. You might find that fist pushing into the hands. That should give you a little bit more height as you keep the knees over the ankles. Couple deep breaths. Slowly untuck the shoulders, release the hands, let the bum come towards the hips, towards the heels. Windshield wiper left and right. Third and final round, you got a couple different options. One is you can go into a supported bridge, which means you stack and make a little shelf with your hands. You might take one of the options we already did. Third, I'm gonna offer an option for very beginner very beginner wheel, which I'm gonna show right now. If you have full wheel in your practice, feel free to take it. If it's something you wanna work on, let me show you step one. So very similar, I tuck my tailbone and I'm gonna bring my hands right next to my ears and I'm gonna hug my elbows in towards my face and point them up to the sky. I'll walk us through this again after I show it. And then I'm gonna just lift my hips enough that I can get the top of my head on the mat, all right? I'm not gonna go any higher than this today. My elbows point straight ahead, I look straight ahead and I stay right here. All right, I lengthen my neck, I lift my chest. And then I'm gonna come down from there. So those of you that might wanna start adding a wheel into your practice, this is a great first step. It's not a super deep back bend, but it takes you to that first step. So I'll walk us through that once more. Pushing into the feet, tuck the tailbone, hands come right next to my ears, point the elbows up and then hug the elbows in towards my face. On the next inhale, I'm gonna lift the hips and tuck just to the top of my head. Keep the elbows pointing forward, push into the tops of the feet. See if you can release the glutes a little bit. Lengthen the neck. One more breath here. Exhale, roll the head down, roll the hips down. Release the hands, windshield wiper left to right. So I probably did that for 20 practices before I ever tried to straighten my arms or my legs. So if wheel is something you want to work towards, that's a really good thing to practice. Let's say at least the 10 next practices till you feel comfortable with lifting. All right, hands to the kneecaps, circle the knees in one direction and the other. Massaging out the lower back. Hug the knees into the chest, rock side to side, and then let the knees fall over to one side, open the arms out to a T, gaze over that opposite shoulder. Couple deep breaths in that final twist. Inhale, coming through center. Let the knees drop over to the other side. Gaze out over that opposite hand. Arms up to a T. Deep breaths. Inhale back through center. Taking that last minute of your practice to take any final postures or just coming into your Shavasana. So lengthening out into corpse pose, or maybe taking a happy baby or a butterfly or something before you come into that. But eventually bringing yourself into our Shavasana. Take your time to get there, about 10 more rounds of breath. Taking a couple deep breaths as you arrive in that Shavasana. Once you're there, just checking in that we've relaxed the entire body. So releasing any tension from the toes into the feet, the ankles, up through the calves, around the kneecaps, the upper and lower thighs, through the glutes, across the lower back, letting the breath return to a natural state so you can release the abdomen, the core, allow the chest to fall, the shoulders to fall, and release all the way out to the fingertips. Release your jaw, your tongue, your neck, all the tiny muscles in your face, around your mouth, nose, eyes, ears, and up to the crown of your head. Gently close the eyes if you haven't already, and just breathe in this amazing final posture of your practice today. Keeping the mind right here, focusing on that intention and that breath.